This is Becky, and we're with a couple of Bees Read.
And I have a little bit of writing news for everyone. A little bit of background about me if you haven't been following the blog. I'm a writer myself. I got my agent in 2021 and I've been on submission since 2022. And I actually met my agent at a writers conference by a company called Writing Day Conferences. And it was during 2021, so COVID was still rampant. And so they did virtual conferences.
Right.
Well, this year we are back to in person, and I realized that they are coming to Alabama. So the man in charge of the conference is Brian Clems, and I emailed him and offered to volunteer. I reminded him of who I was and told him that I have an agent that I got from meeting him there at one of their conferences, and that I would be interested in volunteering since I live in Alabama. And he got back to me and said, okay, do you want to teach? So on March 10th, I will be teaching at a Writers' Day conference. The conference is the Alabama Writing Workshop in Birmingham, and we're going to put a link to that information in the video information. They are having a lot of different conferences. A lot of different panels. My panel is going to be on the submission process. It's going to be everything from once you get your agent, what do you do? Revisions.
Right.
And then, of course, writing a book proposal, and then advice on what to do while on submission, because submission can be hard if you're a control freak like me. You are basically putting the reins in someone else's hands and hoping they do their best. And they are going to do their best because that's their job. But if you're not at that place yet, or you just don't want to hear me talk anymore, there are plenty of other panels you can see. There is an overview of publishing options that talks about both self-publishing and traditional publishing. And I can tell you at these workshops, they're not going to, I feel like some professional workshops you go to, they like bash self-publishing. They're not going to do that here. They're going to give you methods that you could hopefully make that work. So if that's the journey you prefer, this is a conference for you as well. Right. There are panels on agents and query letters. There's a Writer's Got Talent panel, which I think I'm also going to be reading for, where if you want to, you can turn in the first pages of your manuscript and a group of agents will read those first pages while presumably me reads them out loud for the audience. So it's a great way to get feedback and criticism and hear important things from agents like, hey, this is fun, but what was the criticism I got one time at one? Originally my story started with an inner monologue, so a lot of description, a lot of narrative, and they were like, start it with action.
Right.
And as soon as I changed that beginning, I started getting requests for full manuscripts.
Right.
So
I do remember that.
Yeah, it's a great place to go. It talks about building social media, blogging, platforming, all of those things. 10 Keys to Writing Success is another panel. And probably the most beneficial thing is you can sign up to meet with an agent. Some agents are there face-to-face. Now this is Alabama, so not all of them are there face-to-face. So they are also doing virtual agent meeting. So for those of you who are a little introverted and meeting a writer face-to-face might be a little nerve-wracking, sign up for the virtual agent meets. Yeah. Because that's how I met my agents, because I had no other choice.
Right.
And it's a great way. You'll be behind a computer screen and there's really less reason to be nervous.
Right.
You can also get tips on their website of how to meet with your agent and how to pitch your book face to face.
Right.
So I will say this, when I went and I met a lot of agents, every single one of them requested that I query them, Many of them requested a full manuscript. Some requested just the first few pages, but they still got back to me. And when I finally got that call from Stephen, my agent, I had other agents lined up, and a lot of them I'd met at the conference.
Right.
So it's a great way to kind of get ahead of the line, so to speak.
Yeah.
It is only one day this year, so it's not even a huge commitment.
Right.
So if you want to come out and see me, please do. If you want more information, check the link in our video information.
Okay. Sounds great.
I look forward to seeing you there, guys.
Right. Bye.
Bye.